Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome everyone to Trekking Across the Universe. Today is October 14th, 2023. Well, at least for three quarters of us right here it is. And we are absolutely enjoying the day. Want to welcome everyone. My co-host, Michael. Well, you know who I am, so we'll just get through it. Michael, how you doing, young man?
Doing great. Doing
E-
great.
Excited to talk about episode 7 tonight?
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
Since I have
Well,
a surprise contributor for the end of the show. So
that's absolutely awesome. Admiral Greg, how you doing, young man? It's Saturday. Would you think
It
you were
is
Australian?
actually, and I actually remembered it was Saturday this week.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. So glad you made it. Looking forward to tonight's episode.
Very much, actually. I enjoyed this one.
All right. Well, that's already good news. That's already a tease. Good evening, Aaron. How you doing? Or good morning, Aaron. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing all right. Trying to get by on a wonderful Saturday night. Well, we're going to get to it. I don't know if you have some thoughts that you want to share before we get going on this. I did not get the written by and directed by. I cannot believe it. I must have been on pharmaceuticals. So I don't have that information. So maybe Greg might be able to do me a favor and assist me on that. But beyond
I
that,
can
uh,
IMDb it.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I can IMDb it.
Oh, you're suffering from the Mike syndrome.
Is it a bad mic tonight?
There's a bit of a delay.
is there? I didn't think
Uh-oh.
so.
Well, there was a moment ago. I don't know if there still is, but that's all right.
Okay.
We're going to get to it, folks. Episode 7. A few badgies more. Written by, Greg will tell us. Directed by, Greg will tell us. And runtime. My word, I didn't even get the runtime. All right. Well, you saw what happened. We actually even got a little bit of a hint as to what that space alien probe is, which we've now seen for the sixth time in 7 episodes. We have an idea as to what it is. It's possibly a drone. We don't know. But do you have any thoughts on that, Aaron, as to what that thing might be, which is not, as I assumed, absorbing everyone? It's actually stealing them, right?
Yeah, well, there was debris, so I thought this was confirmation that they're actually being destroyed now, but
Yes.
maybe that's not the case. But I still have no idea. But I did appreciate the fact that we got to see the Binars outside of their one TNG appearance, and see what their ships are like and how their ships are run and stuff. I thought that was really cool. It was a really nice reference. I like the sort of little worker bee noise that they make. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I thought it was a good
And
addition.
there were no subtitles.
No,
No, and if you had subtitles on, it was Binars speaking Binar.
Oh, really? Was it?
Do you think it would have been 01111001?
that would have been funny.
That actually would have been really funny.
I was expecting that. I really was. But it
So,
was
just
all
to
right.
back up, we were directed by Bob Suarez tonight, and the writing credits, in addition to Gene Roddenberry, go to Mike McKayen and Edgar. Where
Oh,
are my
so
glasses?
there's actually quite a few people on the writing credits this time around.
Edgar Momplaisir. Plaisir. I am butchering this poor man's name. Momplaisir.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to try it.
Momplaisir.
It should be me to be able to get it right since I roll my R's, but I'm not going to even bother. But
That
no,
sounds French. I don't know if I don't think you need to roll your R's with that one. It looks French.
all right. I just have to cut off the
And we
button.
had a great guest voice.
We did.
You caught it, huh?
Of course.
I didn't catch it until the credits, and I went,
The
"Oh,
first
that's
time
who it
Agnes
was."
appeared, I caught it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, he was great, man. I think he has the record for the most different roles now. Not necessarily for most creatures or
Even more than
aliens.
Vaughn Armstrong.
No, that's right. I don't think he has, but I think for roles, he has more than anyone else, which is kind of neat.
So we're of course talking about Jeffrey Combs, who is most memorable, I think, for Shran on Enterprise and Wayun on Deep Space Nine. but has appeared many other times as well.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And it was wonderful to see him back in the episode. But to get this going, what were some of your thoughts, Michael, to get us going on the episode?
Well, now I remember it was Badgie I was thinking about. That's who I couldn't remember the name.
Okay.
So, but I mean, that was hysterical and scary at the same time. Just my thoughts. It was great. It was as Aaron said, it was great seeing more of the ship that we have wondered what was going on. I'm still holding that. I'm thinking it has something to do with V'ger. Either V'ger's son or V'ger itself got transformed, but we'll see. We'll see. So I could see
Ooh.
them tying that in with something. So
Well, didn't he clearly say that it's one of his drones that saw that it's stealing the stuff?
yes, but that doesn't mean that it's not V'ger or some incarnation of V'ger. So that's my opinion. So I'm sticking with it.
Do you think it's just another of the? It's maybe a super weapon of the pack lids. That if they're stealing, could it be a pack lid weapon?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so,
All right, fair enough.
unless they stole V'ger.
Wow, you never know. Greg, some of your thoughts on this episode?
It was enjoyable. After a couple ones that bombed for me, this one was a pleasure. I didn't care for Badgie's initial appearance, but I really enjoyed this go of him. Of course, having um, Peanut Hamper back and Agamus back, as well as I mean, I got a huge kick out of the evil computer rehab. I thought that was a riot. Um, I mean,
That was rather funny.
this one was enjoyable, and they kept the horrendous, annoying references to bare minimum, and kind of honored themselves in this one.
Mariner was an adult in this episode.
Yeah, she's maturing. Um, a lot of people I noticed in the last week or two have been commenting on that, and I believe consensus is that it's time for her to do so. And she's still Mariner, she's still having fun. What I'm kind of hoping for, I think, I don't know if I said this 2 weeks ago. If they do a legacy show, I wouldn't mind seeing Mariner join that.
Oh, interesting. Okay, fair enough. Aaron, what are some of your thoughts when the kids were messing around with the grappler and they all flipped out and they said, there is no room for a grappler in a starship, which is kind of funny because if we look at the way things started, that's what the Enterprise had was a grappler. But
I feel like they're really milking the reference from the Strange New Worlds episode and everyone's fixation with grapplers. Yeah, I thought it was funny. I love that they set up the shot where you think that Boimler's going to get probably knocked out, but it was Tindy in the background that copped it. It was a bit like
Yes.
the knife throwing gag.
Roger was probably
from-
hoping it was Mariner.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. But go ahead.
But my overall thoughts with this episode, I didn't enjoy it, unfortunately, because I just think that I feel like last week I said that it was kind of lower decks on autopilot, and this one just felt like lower decks, like greatest hits, where they were just bringing back like 3 previous characters who've already had sequels to then come back for a third time,
Again.
and I personally feel like it didn't offer anything new to these characters, especially like Peanut Hamper. Like it didn't go anywhere for me. So while I sat watching, thinking, "Wow, this is like." I think it was a better quality episode than the previous 2 or 3. I just felt like it was yeah, it was just greatest hits. It was just bringing back things that people really enjoyed, like Badgie and the robot computer. And yeah, this one didn't do it for me.
On this episode for me, I think the first go round, I think I saw it sometime on Thursday, so it was still early in the morning. I was confused by it when it was finished. I was like, "Whoa, was that the episode?" It was like a bit of a letdown, but seeing it within the hour, I started watching it about an hour and 10 minutes ago for the second go round, so I can get my notes because I've been very busy, unfortunately. And I found that I was able to get my notes. And I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I've missed some of the comments in the chat room. Hey, Lothcat, I am so sorry. Thank you. Lothcat, I'm not there. I apologize, Lothcat. And they need to bring back Moopsy. I did, by the way, see on Paramount Plus the additional material, and they had a 1 minute segment on Moopsy I guess, when Moopsy gets away. And that was kind of funny seeing that again. But I think Moopsy will return in some fashion whatsoever. But watching it the second time, there were some things that made me laugh. I did appreciate how, I don't know if there was a real correlation or not, but I did get some original series vibes when Badgie split, and you had the good Badgie, and then you had an evil Badgie, and then they upped it up a notch. I don't know if that's correct for me to say that, when they split the bad, where the logic split and you just went full barbarian. I don't know if that's the vibe they were going for, but it worked for me, and it was kind of interesting there. I did appreciate that aspect of it. I thought it was kind of cool that Aaron, I don't want to even argue with you. I appreciate that commentary. I, knowing what we were given, I guess I'm going to limit my comments to that. I did appreciate the way they handled Badgie splitting and doing that stuff. And then when it became a god, did you notice it formed the great bird of the galaxy? I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah.
And we got to see the koala.
I'm sorry?
We saw the koala.
Oh, that's right. I missed it the second time around. It was the first time. Yes. So
Even though I'm at the house and there's other stuff going on, I will switch to my camera for audio. I don't know why the headset's being so scratchy.
You're okay. When we first started the program, there was a bit of delay, but you seem to be real good now as far as the time. Or maybe it was just me missing it. But I did like that. In this episode, I missed T. Lynn. I didn't see her in the whole episode.
Well, she wasn't there at all, I don't think.
I didn't see her. And we also missed the doctor, which is normal. I guess that could happen from time to time. But I did appreciate how Badgie was evil. I mean, he was beating everyone. Oh, and how he was suckering that alien race. I forget what they're called. But he's like, "Oh, bring me closer," and then he did the Borg thing.
Trukmani?
I think so. It
Oh,
sounds
I didn't
right.
write it down.
Yeah, I didn't either. I wrote it down, and then I realized I got it wrong. So I did appreciate Mariner's line, how she said, "Oh, wait a minute. They're going to have the Cerritos go and investigate this? I guess they think we're real important." And then Jack's like, "Yeah, we're the closest ship." And I think she said, "I'll take it." That was kind of funny. I did appreciate that sarcasm. There were some moments that I think did bring a smile to my face on this one. But my first impression was, and I guess I couldn't quantify it until you did, Aaron, it was the best hits. We'd already seen them. I do not like Peanut Hamper as a character. I don't, dude. I think she's a selfish. Oh, I'm sorry. It is a selfish thing. And yeah, I mean, she did the crew wrong, man, in no small parts. I mean, that is to date still one of my most favorite episodes. And she did the crew wrong. She is responsible for the death of the security officer and for the trauma that Rutherford went through in the second season.
She is.
There is a price that must be paid. I wonder if it'll be collected.
It's still a funny character.
What, Michael? No, I mean, come on.
No. You're right, but it's they wanted to redeem her, and I'm redeemed. So
It was interesting how I'm going to say his name wrong, Animagus or whatever his name is. Um, he he is smitten with Peanut Hamper though. It's funny where he gave up everything. He was in complete control, and he just wants to spend time with her. And then knowing that she's gone straight or gone, well, he's going to try to change his life, which is kind of interesting. I loved how all the other computers made fun of him when he showed up. There's the escape artist.
Yo,
That was rather funny.
and then they all changed at the end, saying, "Oh, can you teach me how to?"
yes. I also got a kick out of the red light, blue light.
Oh,
they
yeah.
know they're evil.
And it turns blue, and
It's funny.
It had more for me. It had more moments than the last couple of weeks.
no.
It still didn't top Moopsy in the zoo one, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I also think Peanut Hamper is horrible. I mean, but I was always amused at having an exocomp character
Oh,
and then
absolutely.
have her be totally self-preserving, to the point of you know, going at taking off and abandoning the crew, and then going revenge on Rutherford, and I don't know, some bad characters you love to hate.
That's interesting. Before I go to Aaron on this one, there was a thought that I wanted to share, which I did enjoy, and gosh darn it, I think I lost my place. Oh, when Animagus took over the planet, and Boimler then says, "Yeah, I don't think Starfleet's going to be able to clear this up in an hour." I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of cool. That was interesting, but I don't know. Uh, it was all right. There was a lot going on. As I say in my notes, there's a lot of scenes. There's a lot of activity. But yes, these are some of the biggest hits uh, for uh, for Lower Decks. Wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't overly excited about either. There was some good action in it. I wanted to see what was going to happen to Badgie. Oh, and the whole idea when Badgie did ascend, all that stuff where he says, "I'm in the past, I'm in the present, I'm in the future," and he was talking about the filament of space. That was some cool stuff. And he lost his hatred at that moment. He was a changed being in that. Well, one would hope so. So,
Well, he's going to go off and create his own universe.
well, I think he was going to go play with the Q, right?
Yeah, and
Oh, that was an
probably
option, I
probably
think.
gets upset with them, and
Wait a minute. Is he going to create his own universe?
That's what he said.
Is he going to be like the Force creator of that universe? Okay, that was lame. I was trying. Aaron, there's a lot going on in Star Wars Ahsoka. That's why I was reaching right now. Hey, is he creating another universe? Is he going to be over there? Just kidding. That was a stretch. I apologize. So,
Not another
Lozcat,
galaxy.
what are some of your
you're
thoughts?
saying that Badgie is what everybody is seeking in the other galaxy. Is that what you're trying to tell
I
me?
don't know. Pure malevolence. But
Well, as far as I know, the mouse hasn't bought Paramount yet. So
oh, did you guys hear the news of Star Trek Prodigy?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
So
we
Star
might have a couple more shows to do, Aaron.
Star Trek has returned to Prodigy. Oh, did you hear that? Star Trek has returned to Netflix, which at the very beginning, Star Trek was there on Netflix.
Mhm.
yep,
And of
some
course,
are
as we
still
all
there.
know, are they really? Oh, I hadn't noticed that. But for the time being, I just don't have Netflix. I still have Paramount, and God, I think I have them all except for Netflix right now. But um, it was cool seeing the Binars. It was neat how the Cerritos was given the responsibility, whether the closest ship or not. The robots in therapy was funny, and I did appreciate how Boimler and Tendi were cool going together, and then Rutherford and Mariner. Oh, and then when Rutherford tried to do the data maneuver from Nemesis, And then Mariner was holding on to him, which was really kind of funny. She's, oh, what? Why did I come over here? Just to die?
You don't have a plan?
Yeah. So I didn't have enough time to come up with malevolent code or anything. So, um, there were a lot of throwbacks to a lot of stuff. Am I missing it though, guys? Where the character splitting in half was not unlike what happened to Kirk in the transporter.
Oh
I
no,
thought
it was
so.
very similar. Very similar.
Okay.
And I also got a kick. I mean, it never occurred to me until they did this that bad, BAD, and then we had good, G, and then we had logic, G.
Yes.
So, hey, Beamer.
How you doing, Beamer?
So I got a kick out of the the play on the naming, and it just never occurred to me that it was bad, G. I was thinking badge.
Yeah, I was too.
Oh.
I will admit that. Yeah.
Oh, I did not get that connection. That
Well,
was good.
I didn't get it until he was the bad guy,
Till
and
they
then
split it.
then he was good G and Lod. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it was kind of like a dad joke in a way, but and lame in its own right. But it was also kind of funny.
Fair enough. I don't know if you guys had some other thoughts. It was kind of funny at the very end where Rutherford did whip out good G, and the other three were not having it. That was funny. That was real. They're like, is that this? And they ran off. I think Boimler was like, will you guys get me off of this? Don't leave me hanging. I mean, it was genuine. That, all right, was rather funny. But
I was surprised he didn't fall out of his pants like Tendi fell out of her shirt. I mean, he could have had boxers on, but I was surprised they didn't fall on his head or something.
hey, you're right. I didn't think about that. Well, but he was being held up by his ankle, right?
Yes.
So the pants would have gone up or down.
Well, wasn't it Tendi's arm?
Well, Tendi, yes, but Boimler was upside down, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. Why
Okay.
was he upside down?
Because that's what it did to him. Because
The
established
grappler
AI
grabbed
on
his
the
leg
grappler.
and was
I
hanging
pushed
him
him
up.
up. Oh, okay.
So, yeah, those are my comments. I don't know what else you guys want to share.
I think with what Greg said before about there weren't too many references from the other shows, but it was sort of referencing Lower Decks. I thought that was like good that they were referencing their own material. Like, I think one of the moments that I did smile about is that in the very first episode where Tindy's taken to the holodeck, they go to the beach and she's like, "What's this stuff?" And they're like, "It's just sand." And then when she's on the beach in this episode, she's like, "Can we take some of this home with us?"
Oh yeah, and I also thought it
That's
was funny when they were Boimler was having the conversation with Animus that she's just sitting there building her sandcastle.
Yeah, and then she was mad that they left. It's like,
Yes.
but she got I mean, I was trying to think of the time because I don't remember when they had the camera pointed to her at first. I don't remember her even working on the sandcastle. They went for a few seconds and then they're back, and she had it looked like an elaborate start to one.
Well, they'd been there for a little while, yes.
I guess, but it was like, oh well, time lapse.
But that means she never even ran like a beach program on the holodeck or anything.
Yeah.
She's been busy for 4 years.
True.
Yes. Now it was funny, forgive me, which I know was the thing that pushed the whole episode. I forgot a comment, was when Rutherford went aboard the ship, he immediately knew what to do. He said, "I'm sorry. I should have done this sooner." I was like, what's he going to do? And he went in and gave him a hug. And the machine just freaked out. I mean, that was funny. I'm sorry. But he caused it to split in half, which was good. So I thought that was cool. But
and then of course trying logic on it made him split again.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. I don't know.
I thought some of those aspects of it were clever. I mean, it was a thin story. Most of them have been. But, I mean, I thought some of it was clever.
Yeah, I mean, they were. I mean, I wish there would have been more substance to the episode, but I enjoyed this one more than a few of the other ones that I will not mention because mainly I forgot about them. But
I did forget about the episode when I started watching it again.
so like I did last week.
Yeah, I started watching it and I'm like, oh yeah, these guys again. And that was kind of funny again when Rutherford's thing went all Borg on him and he took control of all that stuff. That was like I said, that was kind of cool. But beyond that, yeah, it was all right. My first opinion was blah. My second opinion, I did get some laughs the second time around, but yeah, I didn't see too much to the episode on this one.
I feel like this season for me is it just feels like another animated show that I'd watch for like a bit of entertainment for 20 minutes and that's it. Like it doesn't hold much. It just,
It's
switches off my brain for
entertainment.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas I feel like the previous seasons I can remember like the episodes and they like
Meant
mattered
something.
Yeah.
in the storyline of the characters whereas
Mhm.
this
Yeah, I didn't even watch it until this afternoon, and then even then, I only watched it the one time. Um, it, yeah, and that's probably why I spaced out on joining you guys last week because, like, the one with the Ferengi, even just didn't really leave me impressed. And again, I think they only had one really good episode this season so far.
Yeah.
This one's a second, but it's not even a close second.
What was your first episode? Was it where Moopsy? Was it the first one?
It was the Moopsy. It was the one with the menagerie. I thought, the visual references were great. The character behavior I thought was good. The interaction between Jack and Mariner I enjoyed. Um, it felt like a good lower deck story, and all the other ones just seemed to be taking advantage of their shtick. But people like that. People come to this show for the fan service and the shtick and all the references. I come to Star Trek to enjoy Star Trek, and sometimes I enjoy the fan service, but sometimes this season it's just been way too over the top.
I did not grow up in the era of 15-second videos. I did not grow up with the internet. And well, actually I did. I guess my first computer was at 89. That was 2 years after I graduated high school. So maybe I did grow up with the internet, but I grew up at a time where you had to be paying attention to a movie and you had to catch it. Look, it was a story. And every now and then they would do something that would say, "Hey, were you paying attention?" I I've commented about this before. This whole thing of all these Easter eggs, they don't understand what an Easter egg is. It was supposed to be that little surprise that you find, and now it's just everywhere, and that's fine. I think they call it fan service. Look, I'm not looking for it. I'm not going to look for it, and if I see it, great. And there are some episodes that do very well that you watch them on YouTube, and they're counting 137 Easter eggs. I mean, oh man, I'm look, I know my Star Trek history as well as most. I don't want to hear it, Lothcat, but I just, I'll get it later, I guess. iBeamer says, I don't come to Lower Decks for stories so much as I do the nostalgia. When they have a good story, it's an added bonus. Oh, iBeamer, appreciate that. I didn't know you were watching Lower Decks as well. You're more than welcome to join us. So if you'd like. Lothcat, what are some of your other thoughts? You've been quiet in the chat room too, Lothcat. So I don't know if this was a little bit on the low side for a few of us. Oh, hey, Linda. Thank you. It worked. I'm here. And of course, very true. iBeamer. That is cool. Well, I don't know. This might be one of the quickest review episodes we've ever had,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
There really wasn't much. There wasn't much to it. I mean, honestly.
There
I
hasn't
mean,
there
there was
hasn't been much to
action in
these.
the episode. It was moving. I did comment about that. For a 20 some episode, I only had about 2 pages and maybe between a quarter and a half.
Well, see, there you go, right there.
Huh. But I am trying to be a bit more conservative in my note taking. Now, I do want to go back a little bit to the entry or the title card or whatever they have. Um, a little bit of trivia. Who are all the people that you see in the title segment where Cerritos is just sitting there and there's a major battle going on, and then Cerritos turns hightail? Do you guys all remember everyone who's there? I finally sat down and wrote everything down. Do you guys remember any of the?
Mm-mm.
I think they change it.
There's the Romulans and the
There's
crystalline
Romulans
entity.
and the crystalline entity, yes.
Yeah,
The Romulans and the Borg were from the first year.
yeah.
Crystalline entity was from the second year. The Klingons were from the third year. And the fourth year, they added the what are those? The pack lids. And then there's the scene of the Klingons being chased by a Breen ship. So, oh, and the whale probe.
Oh, I didn't notice the whale probe.
At the very end, as they're about to switch scenes, you can hear the noise from the voyage home that the probe was
Oh,
making. Yeah, that
see,
cylinder.
I've skipped the intro the last few times.
Actually, so have I.
I've never
Um,
noticed the noise. That's so funny.
I'm gonna have to go back. I knew they were changing it, and every once in a while I'll
Every
go back
year
and
they
watch
change
the
it.
intro. I think they even change it mid-year too.
That I had not noticed, but I have noticed they change it every year. That's why I wasn't certain if they changed that space bug or alien that's attached to the warp nacelle. But in that scene, they keep adding more and more. But you will hear the whale probe from Voyager just as it's about to switch the scene, which is kind of cool. But all right. Hey, Linda says, I've actually been here for 30 minutes. But all right. Lothcat says it wasn't a captivating episode. But okay. So, what are some of your final thoughts, or we'll just get straight into our final grades if we're done?
I'd say go into the grades, but if anybody else has anything to say, well, I
The
guess not.
three of you, the three of you have all worked on fan films. You've all had some story editing experience. You've all written stories and been involved producing and stuff. Greg, how strong was the episode, story wise?
Story wise was pretty thin. I mean, it was a really basic story. You know, the plot. You know, I mean, they fit it into the 24 minutes. The plot was basically, okay, we're going to bring back bad guys, and not only that, electronic bad guys. But I thought they wrote okay around it. They didn't go overboard with trying to pull too much in, um, which is one of the problems I felt with the one with the three Beta Z security people. Um, it, it it was tight. It had good moments. Not, it wasn't overly exciting, but it
Mhm.
was entertaining for what it was. For me,
Linda says, I think Badgie had a multiple personality disorder. I think that's obvious, but it turned into a split personality disorder. Was
It's
that
totally
right?
split.
Yeah, okay, sorry. All right, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Michael,
oh,
and by the way, you got congratulations, producer credit on the latest Potemkin
Oh,
production. Congratulations, way to go.
I get that. All
Tell me what? I'm sorry, what was that?
I get that all the time. It's like,
It doesn't matter. You're involved in their production
I know, but I get the producer credit all the time. That's what I'm saying. It's like not anything new.
because you're involved. I'm just giving you a
I
shout.
know. Yeah.
Hey, stop acting like the big dog, dude.
Well, I'm trying. I mean, he's paying me money.
Okay. All right. Well, then we will be ending this episode soon. Anyway, Michael, as a producer, you've created stuff as well. How was the story?
No, I totally agree with Greg. I mean, I was hoping for more. It wasn't bad. It just didn't really have any substance.
All right. Fair enough. Aaron, as well.
I think if you're going to do a sequel of the sequel, you need to make sure that you bring something new to it. And with what you said before, Roger, about Talin not being there, Talin would have been a great addition to see how she interacts with these three villains and bring something new to the story, as opposed to just having Rutherford with Badgie again. or like
She's never met any of them, has she?
no,
I'm
I
trying to
don't think
remember
so.
when they introduced her, and I'm thinking,
No, I think she was at the end of season 3,
Yeah,
but we saw her in season 2
yeah,
or season 3. Yeah. And it was that wonderful when you think of Tillin, she's only on air for like 2 or 3 minutes in that episode Wedge Douche. And she was just a wonderful find coming over to Cerritos. I would have liked to have seen her, but hey, it is what it is. Look, I envy the producers in their roles. Don't get me wrong, I do, but I do expect, I do expect all the time. But since they have treated me very well and I have laughed out loud, I mean, really laughed out loud several times in this multi-year run, I'm like, okay, this is cool. I don't know if it was a bad episode. It was thin, but I'm maybe a little bit disappointed. That's all. But nah, I'm still watching. I am a long way from writing this series off.
yeah. I think that's the thing. Like, I will watch this show forever. Like, it is a great show. It is arguably, I think, the strongest out of all the new Star Trek shows in terms of like
Really?
consistent quality. Um, so yeah, I love it, and I yeah wish the best for it. I want it to be better.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We were reviewing Lower Decks last year, so it was a natural extension for us to do it. And when I say reviewing, I think back right away. Episodes First Contact. I even think of the episode where Mariner created the holodeck movie. That was really kind of funny. I'm still, folks. I'm a fan of. I don't think it was First Contact, but it was the beginning of the 3rd season where they go to Bozeman, Montana. That
oh,
was
for the amusement park.
Yes, that was
Yes.
some sharp writing. I'm sorry. And the Star Trek 3 vibes, I thought that was really good in that episode. I enjoyed the season finale to the 3rd episode. I told you where, what's his face when she shows up and mom says, "Get out of here." She says, "No, mom, I brought help." She says, "No, we can't. I brought them all." And it was so cool when every California class showed up. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm a sucker for that. I told you. I get emotional in Rogue One when the Rebel fleet shows up. I love it when the Rohirrim show. I mean, that's the moment when you can get up and cheer. And in no small parts, season 1 finale, when the Titan shows up, oh my God, man.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. And it was just well done. I remember telling Michael, I'm like, "Oh my God, Michael, have you seen the episode?" I
No.
talked to Michael for like what weeks after that, right?
Weeks
Still,
after it, yeah.
I still love that episode, and I'm willing to, let a few go by that maybe are not of interest to me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
my only problem with that one episode though is
Moopsy
Marina
wasn't it. We know.
Sirtis and Jonathan Frakes just seemed to phone in their voice work. They didn't really grab me.
ooh, okay,
But
appreciate that.
that might have been what they were doing back then because of COVID. That's very possible.
That's interesting. I did not get that, but all right. I'll have to go back. I mean, it's not going to change my opinion. I still, I mean, I
Well,
just,
one of the things I love about Lower Decks is that they can go from that style of animation to have these like beautiful CG sets and ships, and it's like, the characters are primitive, but everything else screams Star Trek in the art of it.
Mm-hmm.
okay. That's fair. Appreciate that. Um, I do appreciate how in every episode there is almost a character from our recent past. Not every episode, but we've had Tom Paris, we've had Quark, and of course we've had others from way back, which is really cool. Uh, I'm still in, but yeah, this episode was a pedestrian episode for me. So I don't know. Anyone else in the chat room, your comments on this episode? And if not, we're going to go ahead and go to our grading. And I would appreciate your commentary, and we'll see. So we'll start off with the man on the right, and I just mean it because that's where you are. You're on my right.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the vote that I got over the phone from somebody. I'm going to give that vote first, and then I'm going to be last. Ha ha ha.
Oh, who gave us a vote that didn't show up today?
Randy Landers. Randy Landers gave it a B plus, and he agrees with me now. He thinks that this alien problem has something to do with V'ger, because he thought I was nuts, and he told me today. He said after this episode, he's thinking that now too.
Okay, you're still nuts, whether it has to do with V'ger or not.
I know, but we know that. So
okay, so you're gonna go last. Is anyone going to join us, or was that it? The comment by Randy Landers.
That's it. No,
that is cool, folks.
He couldn't join us, but he wanted to give his because we were talking about it a couple hours ago, and I said to him, I said, well, what vote would you give it? A, B, C, D, and plus or minus? And then he told me a B plus.
I thank Randy because he knows that we're doing this program. So I do think that he shared his opinion with us. As you know, folks, he is from Potemkin Pictures, and they just released an episode within the last day or so, which I did see myself. I would humbly recommend you do take a look at it, but it's good. Linda in the chat room. Oh, sorry. Linda in the chat room gave it a B, and Loathcat gave it a B plus. So let me see, Loathcat. Sorry. And Beamers. Oh, stop with the sorries. You're already part of the family, dude. Not much comments on it. I'll give it a solid B. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, folks. We can get an idea from the entire audience where we are and how it looks. I think it was last week or the week before where we were. I think it was one of the largest ranges we'd ever had. So, of those that have already answered, and there are guests, B plus, B, and another B plus. Michael's going to hold off. Greg, I'd like to go to you, young man. Ruin the curve. Go ahead.
I've been waffling on this one. And I keep thinking, was it, worth a B with a minus because it was kind of thin, or was it with a plus because I enjoyed it? But because I'm waffling, I'm just going to stay right in the middle and go with a B.
Ooh. Okay. Michael, I'll save you for last. I'm going to go to Aaron in a moment. Folks, I'm going to be the one to ruin the curve. I'm going to give it a C plus. And I'm sorry. Aaron.
I think I'm going to go for a solid B.
For a moment there, I thought I was bonding with Aaron.
With Aaron?
Apparently, I wasn't even close. Not even close. I was getting the whole idea that he was on the pedestrian side, and no. But no, that's cool. All right. Folks, I said there was a lot to like. So I know when I came up with the grade right now, I was like, okay, I'm going to ruin
Well, you thought you were going to be with Aaron, and I did too. So, but I'm going to go with a B.
All right, so I am the outlier. So if you really look at it, you always drop the worst grade, right?
And the best. And the best. You drop the best and the worst.
Well, there's 2 B pluses.
Well, 1 B pluses is out the window.
So if that's the case, then folks, this was a solid B.
Yeah.
All kidding aside.
Not the best, not the worst.
It did score 2 B pluses, 3 Bs. No, I'm sorry, 4 Bs. And a C plus.
But Greg was waffling. He almost did B minus. So that's close to the other.
I'm holding out for survival. I am expecting for someone to join us as a guest host.
Color.
What?
Greg, color.
Oh my God, Greg, you're blushing again. Dude, you look like a tomato in heat, buddy. But all right, that's all good.
It's his green screen. That's what it is. That's
Oh, is
I'm
that
gonna
what
have
it
to
is?
back up under the light, get color corrected here.
Oh, is that what it is? So which conference room is that? That's not the Enterprise one, is it?
Cerritos.
Oh, son
Cerritos.
of a wench. I should have gotten that one. All right, well, fair enough. Okay, well, this was good. As I mentioned earlier, we had good news. Star Trek Prodigy has been picked up by Netflix, and it looks like season 2 will debut on Netflix, and we'll see what's going to be happening moving forward. The series will return to Netflix in 2023. So I don't know if the second season when it's set to debut, but
yeah.
I don't know.
That's when the first season was going to be on? Is that what it was? Or I got confused because
They purchased the entire thing.
I know they did, but because I had originally been told that they had finished most of season 2 already and just had to do the final edits, but that might have been wrong because we know that not everything on the internet is truthful. So
Right. I mean, from what I understood, it was planned. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't know how much pre-production they'd done yet, but my understanding was that it was planned, so that they probably had storylines. They probably had, whatever guests they were going to line up, things like that.
I mean, they could have
But
honestly already done the voices. They just haven't done the animation.
Actually,
Right.
I think they were close to the end on it, but again,
Yeah,
all rumored.
it's all rumors. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really thought that they were because if you look at the way the production schedule is, Prodigy should have been sometime later this year, second
Yeah.
season.
Oh, okay. Well, if
So
you did get Netflix, Roger, my step granddaughter, so that means my daughter-in-law's daughter, turned me on to a show on Netflix. It's an adaptation of an anime. And I actually enjoyed it. It's called One Piece, and it's like piratey. And I really enjoyed it. So you might enjoy that too when you get turned on to Netflix.
I make a joke of recommendations, but if someone does take the time to recommend the series to me, I will take a look at it.
Especially
And
if I
of
have a
course-
guest coming.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Especially if I have a guest coming.
Oh, yeah, well, of course. But if someone does take the time to recommend something, I always will give it a time of day. So One Piece on Netflix. I will
Yeah.
probably be getting it very soon. I just don't have
And
it.
it was recommended to me by a 12-year-old. I mean, it's rated TV 14 for language. One very brief scene of nudity, which was just buns. But it was enjoyable, and the adaptation was really good. It actually felt like a live-action anime. I enjoyed it.
All right. I do want to, and thank you for that. I do want to add that McMahon was interviewed recently, and he did say that the future for the production looks a little cloudy. And you're nodding. I don't know if you saw that interview as well,
I
but
did
he
see
did
that.
say there's a 5th season. Okay. Did you want to add to that, Aaron? Did I get it right?
No. I think with what's happened with Prodigy, hopefully it sort of makes people aware that none of these shows are safe.
Yeah.
And-
I'm glad Prodigy got picked up, and I'm also glad that they bought the whole thing so they can show season 1 that people that may have missed it get to see it.
Yeah, because it was gone from one day to the next. There was no notice.
Oh, it
I
was
was
like
I was
boom.
still watching it. I was like on
Yeah.
episode 6, and it went bye-bye.
So
Because I hadn't really watched it.
You hadn't even got through the first half of the season because they had
No.
20 episodes
Yeah.
of Prodigy on the first season.
Aaron, I didn't catch any comments from you, but have you seen Prodigy?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a fan of Prodigy? And I mean that just generically.
I mean, like generally, yeah. Like I'll watch it.
Okay.
It's not my favorite out of all the shows, but I feel like it's not made for me. But that's okay.
Oh, okay. I know that Michael and I spent a lot of time talking about Prodigy. And I don't know if you guys remember at the midpoint of the first season, my daughter, my youngest Gmo, who will make an appearance every now and then, when we finally discovered what that ship was, my daughter understood what the warp drive was, and we both perked up. And that was a wonderful moment that I shared with my daughter. And I have to tell you guys, that for me is priceless. being able to share time with my progeny, which is for prodigy. That's funny, progeny. So I have that tiny connection. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really happy, and we know that Discovery will be returning next year. Strange New Worlds will return, and then it's kind of thin. We haven't understood there is a Starfleet Academy. There's still talk, but I haven't heard anything from her on the Section 31 movie.
Yeah.
So there's nothing.
She's so busy.
And, God bless her. Good for her,
Oh,
man.
yeah. I mean, she's a great actress. I mean, it's great. I mean, finally getting some recognition from all the years that she was doing her craft.
Wow. Good for you. I forget, gentlemen, I brought it up. So since we're generally have seen Discovery, uh, for me, Discovery third season was one that had more of my interest. There was no doubt. I have forever seen myself as a believer. I've always seen myself as one of those. I mean, come on, folks. People, I had this happen at the convention in Anaheim, or sorry, San Diego. So, what are you, a Trekkie or a Trekker? I'm like, no, I am a citizen of the Federation. All right, that's for the Section 31 books. I mean that. I've always been, and I've known that for about 10, 15 years, and I believe it. And seeing the stuff in the third season of Discovery, oh man, when they raised the flag at the very end of the episode, I'm like, oh my god! I called Michael, did you see the episode? And I that did get me though, the whole idea of rebuilding the Federation. That was big. And the stuff with Navarre, I did like that as well.
Yeah.
She was good. But anyway, we really are off on topic on that one.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any other comments or anything else that you wanted to announce, talk about real quick, or anything?
Well, the only thing is we do have a guest artist on Monday night, the 23rd, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. He has, I think it's the book has just been released or very soon. It's a book about people's, let me get this right, people's inspiration from Star Trek and what it meant to them in their lives. And we're going to have a guest host with us, Bobby Nash. So he'll be on as one of the hosts too and be interviewing. I'll just get this guy's name because, of course, my brain is not functioning. His name is Jim Beard. If anybody wants to look that up, I will. I think I've got it. I think I've got his bio on our ndbmedia.net under Trekking Across the Universe. I think I've already got it up there. I'm double checking before I say something that is not true. But yes, I do. So if you want there, I haven't put up his web links yet, but I do have his bio. So Jim Beard, 23rd of October. And then the following Monday, which I haven't told Roger that he is confirmed, it's your producer friend, Roger. And now I can't remember his name. So I'm having the same problem.
As a matter of fact, he was involved in the early 2000s when the internet was doing all these fan productions. But there was another subset of many fan productions doing the stories in script-based format. You guys remember that? One of the best series that ever came out. And I am a fan of his work, and I'm glad he's going to be joining us. It's Josh Maley.
Thank you.
He was responsible for the series called Star Trek Frontiers. It ran for 2 seasons. They did a movie, all in script-based format. I did get a writer's credit on one episode, so it's not fair for me to say. But I was a fan of the product, and I was humbled that I was given a writer's credit. I don't think I deserved it, but I was still given one. I rarely ever talk about it because I think it's the work speaks for itself, and I don't want people to know that I had a time. I think it was just I got the writer's credit out of love for some stuff I contributed. That was it. But did I really affect the story? Hell no. Hell no. So I am proud of that. It is the episode In Thy Name. No. Oh, son of a. I'll have to get that for next week. I don't remember the name of the episode right now, but it was really cool. It was a good episode. I think it was episode 12 in the series or episode 14 in season 1. I think there were like 14 or 16 episodes in each season. These guys were writers, man. They were really good. But all right, I think that's it. I don't have any other announcements. It is Josh Maley. He is a writer, producer, director, I believe out of the Michigan area. He's done quite a few bits of work, and he had announced that he was working on this project. And I said, dude, when it's done, let me know. And he did. So he's going to be joining us. He's really good stuff. But I'm going to ask him if I can create the Star Trek Frontier. Actually, is it on Facebook? Let me do a quick look, guys. Star Trek Frontiers. The website is not, it's not up. Oh, there it, I think that's it. Okay, here it is. I'm going to share it with everyone if you guys want to check it out. It's good stuff. I would love to know your opinions, not on what I did. I wrote a paragraph. Okay, it's not fair for me to even say. But look, I'm putting it in the chat room as well as for my co-host. It is Star Trek Frontiers, and it's really good stuff. And it's really neat. So I believe all their stories are there available. So the website exists, and I think you can get all the stories on there. It's really good stuff, folks.
Yeah, the only other upcoming guest, but we haven't gotten confirmation for the dates yet, but I'll go ahead because a couple of them I'm kind of excited about. Wes Mack is coming back. He's a country singer from Canada. He's also in a new, well, not new, the 4th season of a show that sadly the US is only in season 3. And I got so excited when I got the press release from the promotion people. I said, "Oh, the season premiere is tonight." And I quickly went to record it, and I recorded it, and I went, "Why does it say season 3? It's supposed to be season 4." So we're behind in the United States, but we'll have all that information when I get the confirmation from him. The other 2 guests we're going to have, I think we've talked about them before. They're 2 young people in their 20s. One of their things they do is flip houses.
So it is confirmed. They are joining
confirmed. The one said that they were going to do it. They're in Europe right now having a vacation after they just flipped the house they just flipped. So they're over in Europe having a good time, and they said they would contact me as soon as they got back, and we would set up a date. So I'm excited about that.
Wow. Okay. All right. Greg, anything you wanted to add?
No,
Okay.
I'm good. Happy
All
weekend.
right. Anything else, Aaron?
Oh, all good.
Okay, we're going to finish up, folks. We want to thank you for joining us. We love what we do, and we love spending time with you. We appreciate your comments. It is very insightful. Usually whatever we don't get, you guys get, and vice versa, which is really cool. So we will be on next week on Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And for now, that's Aaron, Greg, that's Michael, I'm Roger. We'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.